kick, a Jimmy Jang lick. Well, that's the beat of my heart. A come again cut. Oh, but telling you what, that's the bitterest part. You know the barroom boys, well, they've fallen, and a juice joint Jane got high. If hooks could kill, singing dollar dollar bill on the street of my heart. Oh. To the beat, to the beat, to the beat, play it over and over again. Play it over and over again. Let me know, let me know, let me know. I am yours and I'm ready to go. Yes, yes, you're.
I think really what's more interesting, given how often I've sort of self-sabotaged any vague idea of a career, is the fact that somewhere, the whole time at the back of my mind, there must have been the thought, well, yes, you will make another record. Even though there were long periods when I was living on my own in Wales and had turned my back on everything, that I didn't even want to look at a guitar. In fact, I used to kind of get ill if I looked at a sequencer or a guitar or something. I would keep the music room door locked and not want to go in there. That would sometimes last for a few months, a year maybe, and then I'd always end up being drawn back in, and I suppose, yeah, somewhere at the back of my mind I kind of always imagined, which is a bit presumptuous really, because it's I think I'm incredibly fortunate to be sort of allowed to make a record after sort of 30 years of faffing about. Well, when I first came back to Rough Trade, I think I spent a couple of years doing nothing but making hip-hop beats. I would, there are, I don't know how many hours worth of the stuff, you know, drives full of it. And occasionally go to New York and collaborate on some stuff that'll probably see the light of day, I think, hopefully soon, some of it. And then Jeff just said, well, do you fancy, you know, why don't you make a record with you singing? And I guess it was the whole thing was me singing was the key thing, because I've always kind of not thought of the singing part of the songs as particularly important before, or never been very happy with my voice before, never especially enjoyed singing before. But this time round, with his encouragement, it was really not about expressing any of those influences other than what happens if I sit down on my own in the front room with a guitar and don't worry about anything, kind of. Do you know what I mean? So, and the voice kind of takes the big part of the picture.
Sure.
So it's, yeah, and the influences that do come out are probably ones from much earlier in my life. I mean, that whole, it's a lot more white pop stuff in there and folk stuff in there, and, you know,
Yeah,
more formative influences.
When I dream and in these dreams of mine, of the love forevermore, oh, the need for someone new now, I'm overawed.
I'll take it. That'll do me. Sold to the gentleman in the green jacket. Thank you very much. I would have lacked the confidence to make a record completely on my own before, and perhaps I always enjoyed the whole social aspect of making music. And after I went to America and worked there, lived there for a long time, working with great players, I think you kind of lose confidence in, or I did at least, you know, you'd come up with musical ideas, you might come up with the chord progressions, the melodies and the words, but you'd leave it to someone else to actually play them because they had better chops than you. And that was part of the game, part of the plan at the time. Whereas this is pretty relatively unsophisticated musically, I think. I really don't know the songs either. I haven't learnt them. I've got them written out on paper, so...
There's a long way to come. Hear the
a second, please.
Think of any alphabet, just another drink, just another cigarette, standing on the corner, the road to no regret. Oh, the road to no regret.
Almost perfect. There's a lot of license in the thing, you know. I was not trying to impress anybody, or wasn't overly concerned with tickling anyone's earbuds in particular, or, you know, it was much more to please myself. And I think in the past, whenever I wrote songs, I always actually had key individuals in mind that I had to please, impress, or something. And
An audience?
no, right, specific individuals, which is kind of odd. And there were key people in my mind. I think, right, this has to be sophisticated enough to impress this person, or this has to be interesting enough in this way to... That was just part of the way that I wrote. And this time there was no such person.
And there are no fine lines, or there are more than I can draw. Gotta cross some here and there, between each after and before, tying everything together, so I can't think it anymore.
Artifice is a funny word, but I was interested in fighting against the idea of truth, of music as expressive, or some sort of inner... I didn't like the fact that people thought that music was transcended politics, or transcended society, or transcended any of the questions that you might legitimately ask of any other human enterprise. And that it's caught up in economics, it's caught up in history, it's caught up in ideology, and that goes right down to the very timbre of the voice, to the very way that notes are twisted, to the historical development of gospel music. It's all socially grounded, and there's gesture to it all. Ha! No, I think I genuinely did want to explore the whole pop thing to the, you know, to the full, as it were. And I did think it was something you could play with. I did think that if you were smart enough and clever enough, you know, you could get a lot of money off a major label. And I wasn't alone in this. There were other bands thinking the same way at the time. You could get a lot of money off, you know, perhaps a gullible major label, and you could carry on with your subversive little project, and you could manage to have that ironical distance, that subversive distance from everything whilst you went through it. And of course you can't, or I don't think you can. I think there reaches a point, and I think the point was probably when we played American Bandstand with Dick Clark on TV in America in front of I don't know how many million people, and you kind of think, hang on, there is no distance here between us and the real thing, or, you know, us and anybody that's doing this seriously as a career. You're just part of the same machine, and that's when it became patently obvious that success was, you know, as ugly as failure, if not more so. And I didn't want success, and it felt bad, and it felt as bad as failure, which is why, again, it was time to just give everything up and go back to Wales.
Correspondence or coherence, I am calling you. I was getting me down, took a train into town, and the sun was shining brightly though the snow was falling lightly too. Made me think of how brave you are, and how come I have strayed so far, and why everything came apart in my head and heart now. You will never be without me. You will never need to doubt me. There'll be something good about me soon. Like sun in the city snow. Like snow in the city sun.
7 years. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the longest. You know, that's 7 years in human years, which isn't, you know, I don't really measure things in human years, I don't think. I just don't have a very good sense of time. That's generally true. I don't measure time well. And, you know, I haven't been completely idle all of that time, you know. I've been doing stuff. And I moved back to London, which is great. I moved to Hackney, which I love. And sort of recently formed a band with people from my local pub, which is great. And started playing live again. And so, well, certainly not relying on musical expertise and not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to biff, bang, pow anybody this time round. I neither have the inclination or ability to do that on my own. But this is just what happened when I was on my own in a room in Hackney for those few, you know, those months that it took to do. And with Rough Trade's encouragement, I got it finished and was happy enough to let it go.
I've been wanting too long a time. I dream of ending these dreams of mine, of hope, for love forevermore. Just to adore and be adored. The need for someone new now. I'm overawed. Woo-woo-woo-woo. I've been wishing my life away for Robin Hood to be king. One day we'll share the treasures of the world. Oh yeah, and I will get the girl. A flag of blood and lipstick will be unfurled.
Time to go finally. Let's get that hope. I feel very fascinated and privileged to paraphrase Gilbert and George. To be with pop is all I ask. I think they said to be with art is all I asked, but and I still feel that. And yeah, thankfully the whole, you know, for me at least, one spectral vision of pop is dead. So I'm just, you know, free of it.
Right, dude.
So mine was Gug Rug, E Nun is my number num E, Suskash Rush, I Tut Tut I, Papalul I Tut Tut I. That's Green of Scritti Politti.
Please keep your love away from me. And Jesus, keep your hands where I can see. There's nobody here you can trust. Oh, I'll break every bone if I must. Oh, wisdom, keep your hands away from me. Mercy, turn your eyes away from me. Truth, shine your light where I can see. They all practice harder to see.